Shalom Yashrala, this your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article real fast, which says white people should be paid reparations. U.S. Senate candidate. Ohio Republican Bernie Moreno is campaigning to unseat Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown in the 2024 election. So here we have this guy, Bernie Moreno, that's asking for white people to get reparations, right? Now, I know this is a hot, controversial topic, you know, with number 2/3 of Jake, all right? Because 2/3 of Jake is out there asking for reparations and upset that the so-called white man won't give him reparations and everything else like that. And what do you think that this Edomite is doing besides being divisive? All right, by poking back, you know, and they can say, oh, well, how come it's not racist when you guys asked for, but when we asked for it, it's racist and everything. They don't get caught up into that pandering and all that extra stuff that they got going on. That's all that is. It's a pandering fight, man. In fact, what we should be doing is we give all these Edomites reparations. Every last single Edomite in America should get reparations for slavery. All right, you know, they got paid for it back in the days. All right, they got paid as far as now in this article they're going to talk about. We'll read a little bit because they say the ones that, you know, fought for the North should get it. But in reality, the fucking slave owners, you know, they pretty much got like an insurance claim, put it that way. Right? They got paid reparations for the loss of their slaves and everything else like that. And they give you a lot of this little rhetoric about, you know, not so many white people own slaves. And no, listen, nigga, if you was over here as a so-called white person and you was a landowner, all right, you was a slave owner, man. All right, they would have you think all kind of crazy shit going on over here. Not all black people. Like, look, bro, if they didn't know who was owned and who wasn't owned out there in slavery, we was just walking down the street and we got caught up by a gang of people, and there was a so-called black man and a so-called white man. What do you think that they were gonna do to the so-called white man? What do you think they're gonna do to the so-called black man? 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they taking the so-called black man and putting him back on somebody's plantation, trying to figure out what plantation he came off of, because the mindset was, this nigga's a runaway slave. And the Edomite, they're not really checking for him because they be like, well, this nigga probably owned a slave or some shit like that, man. All right, it ain't like that the so-called white people was walking around afraid that they was getting put into captivity out back in them days, man. They didn't have to worry about that walking around, man. Jake did, man. All right. Oh, well, some black people wouldn't. Yeah, but you still, look, that's just like today. Not all black people are so-called criminals, drug dealers, and everything else like that. But guess what? Guess how they feel as soon as the police pull up behind them? Just like the drug, they got the same feeling that the big drug dealer, kingpin, killer, gangster, gangbanger, the pastor at your church feel the same way that Tyrone up the block feel when the police get behind him, man. Barack Obama feel the same way that Tyrone up the block feel when if he ever be driving by himself, right? Driving by himself and the police get behind him. Because they ain't gonna know until they walk up on him like, oh shit, it's you. You know what I'm saying? But they got the same feeling, all right, as the police when they walk up behind. So don't try to give me that, oh, this is a sob story, man. All right, this is a Jedi mind trick. Now, I always say this, like, look, check it out. These Edomite, you'll never come across the Edomite that'll say that they'll always tell you that their foreparents fought for this here country, but you got to ask them, hey, who did they fight for this here land? Who did they have to fight to get this land? They'll never take credit for killing the so-called Native American Indians. They're like, oh, my foreparents wasn't here to kill the Native Americans. What do you mean? They'll always say that they fought for this here country. My foreparents fought for this country. I'm an American. My parents fought for this country. Blah, 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 blah. Well, who did they had? They had to fight somebody. The only person that was contesting over this here land like that to defend this land was the Native American Indians. Nobody else had to defend this. There was nobody else here to defend the land, right? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to take the land. Like, who the fuck you take the land from? Put it that way, right? You know, you had to take the land from somebody who was here first, right? And then when it comes to the so-called Negroes, my foreparents was always here, this, and that, and everything. Okay, so then your foreparents had slaves. No. We didn't have slaves. We weren't slave owners. You'll never find a so-called Edomite here in America that'll say that their foreparents went all the way back as the owner slaves. Now, you may find you some little racist backwood redneck ass ones that just want to be stupid and be saying shit like that. But you get them into a real, serious conversation, you'll never find one Edomite that'll say that, you know, their foreparents had anything to do with slavery, had anything to do with killing the Native Americans, but yet they'll tell you that their foreparents go back that they fought for this land, right? But they will all have you believe that they fought for this land some kind of way, but they don't know who they fought for this land. And then also that they just showed up after slavery and everything else popped off, but they was here long enough to claim this here land, right? Like, no, we was here first, blah, 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 and we have rights to the land. Like, how the fuck how you did not have slaves, right? You wasn't here at that point in time, but the slaves was here. But you supposedly came after the slaves came here, and then you got more of a right to the land. I don't get it. But like I said, this is a Jedi mind. They all had something to do with it. But now we about to start seeing, because like I said, I've never seen an Edomite, right, that said that they had so-called slaves. Now you have Edomites. They'll speak about it in this article about how the North fought the South. And, the South had slaves. The North had slaves too, nigga. They just have you messed up with these things. They just started developing into the new modern age, all right, before the South did. And the South, everybody was getting rich off of that. They had the plantation stuff, but they had to modernize, to get us towards the mark of the beast. Because back in the olden days, so like you got to think about it. There was a technological increase that happened. All right, Eli Whitney with the cotton gin, right? They like what the fuck? Just like right now today, you got Americans are full of fucking slaves. Everybody was working in these factories and shit. But guess what? Now they got AI and robots. They don't need you niggas no more. That's why they're trying to get rid of your ass. Just like back in the olden days, like, well, we got the slaves, it's free labor, right? But then you still gotta house these niggas and feed these niggas and everything else. Then they be rebelling and running. Well, guess what? These machines that we about to start inventing, and the what they call that shit, not the technological age, but when they started getting like manufacturing and shit like that, the machines don't complain, the machines don't go nowhere. You just got to keep them bad boys oiled up, all right, and then get people to work them. They just transferred them from being private property to public property, man. That was the whole fight about it. In terms of the North and the South, or the North never has. They did, man. All right, they just had a technological advance to move on to everything else like that, man. All right, but nevertheless, let's read this here article. It says Bernie Moreno, a Republican candidate in next year's election in Ohio, for his two seats in the U.S. Senate, has proposed that descendants of white people who died during the U.S. Civil War while fighting with the North for the emancipation of black people should receive financial compensation. You see? So, hey, this is the divisiveness. They about to get all these jakes riled up. And they about to get all these Edomites charged up. Now, every Edomite is going to be like, no, we was living in the South. Now, soon you're going to say there was no Edomites living in the South to enslave black people, because they're going to all want to say that they was all descendants of the North, and they're going to get these here reparations, right? It says white people died to free black people. Like, what kind of statement is that? They forced black people to fight for y'all, fight for them in the goddamn war. The North and the South forced black people to fight in that damn war. They ain't have shit to do with us. And every war that America had, Jake had to fight in it, man. All right, and it wasn't for their own benefit, man. You had Native Americans fighting with the Americans against other Native Americans. And it wasn't because they just so-called wanted to. Some of them was so-called turncoats or whatever, but a lot of them was like, fuck, bro, I got to go and do this. It's either this or that, man. Like your boy Muhammad Ali type scenario, man. He was a good stand-up guy. He like, fuck that, y'all can throw me in jail and take my titles away. I'm not finna go fight a war against some people that I don't even fucking know. My enemy over here, when I get pulled over, it's motherfuckers that look like y'all. Y'all the ones trying to take my belt away. Y'all the ones trying to throw me in jail for not fighting an uncaused war against the people I don't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So, most Jakes that was in these predicaments, like if you was a slave, man, you had to do what your slave master told you to do. It's not like they willingly went to go fight, in this here war. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end all be all the war, they had to go and turn their guns back in and get right the fuck back in line up under these Edomites, man. All right, oh well, we fought in the war, we should be getting this. Nah, y'all niggas ain't getting shit, right? You go and find out how they was really being treated. Like, well, what was the difference between once they were slaves and after they got emancipated? It wasn't that much more fair treatment, man. All right, look at where we at today, man. All right, you got to prove who you are and everything else like that. Like, bro, this is my house, this is my car. Like, what the fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, to them, you still a runaway slave. You ain't supposed to have no shit like this, man. All right. But nevertheless, it says white people died to free black people. Moreno. It never happened in human history before, but it happened here in America. That's not taught in a lot of schools much, is it? He continued. Bruh, what school in America? I don't know about today because I ain't in school today. But I was gonna say, what school in America, at least from my time, did you not know about the Civil War? That's the only war that ever took place in American soil like that. Like from the from the United States perspective, like United States of America's perspective, right? You had conflicts over here before, but it wasn't necessarily fought by the United States of America. You had like the colonies and shit like that, and you had these other revolutions, like when you had Spain and like you had different nations that was over here. But as you know it today, the United States of America, the only real conflict that was over here was the Civil War, and that was them fighting themselves, man. All right, it says. It says he continued, they talk about reparations, right? And who is he saying? They talk about reparations. Well, black folks acting like they want some reparations. If they gonna get them, we better get our shit first, is what they're saying. It says, that's not taught a lot in school much, is it? Comparably to what? Slavery? He continued, they talk about, they talk about reparations. Where are the reparations for the people in the North who died to save the lives of the black people? His comment came amid a proposal in California last year to pay black people in the state who are descendants of slaves as much as $360,000, which, hey, that's a trick in itself. Hey, look at what's going on right now financially and everything else like that. I'm like, they give you this $360,000, you get all these jakes to move out there anyway. I mean, like, this $360,000 would be probably equivalent to $36. You probably won't be able to fill up your gas tank with this shit. But we want reparations. All right, we'll give you the shit. Now we can get y'all up off of our back. But that 36, now you mad about something different, but you ain't mad about slavery no more. So we paid y'all back for that. We said we were sorry. We paid y'all back. So we good on that tip. Y'all leave that shit alone, right? That's what they finna get y'all into right now, man. Just like them PPP loans and everything else. Oh, they gave you the money to satisfy your ass, to help you out in a little crisis. But yeah, you didn't read the fine print. Now you about to go get locked the fuck up because you was trying to feed your family and shit. Now some niggas was buying Lambos and shit, but still, hey, we ain't gonna get into that. But nevertheless, continuing on, it says Miranda was referencing a bloody 4-year civil war that began in 1861 and was fought predominantly between the states in the North and the South, in which the abolition of slavery was a key cause. Estimates suggest that somewhere around 360,000 were killed fighting for the North, while the Confederate forces' losses are thought to have been around 258,000. Moreno comments, which social media videos appears to show were greeted positively by his viewerships, were acknowledged by him being not politically correct. He said that he must, however, call it like it is. Now, again, what do you think that this is a rally for? The rally to get Edomites all roused up. Scriptures speak about, Judah's alliance, what who shall rouse him. This is doing nothing but bringing on more of these race wars, right? Getting these Edomites charged up. Yeah, we need reparations. We lost this. We lost. So Jake could be mad about these things and get them fighting. But like I said, pay all these Edomites all this fucking, pay them all off, man. Don't pay Jake, pay the Edomites. Get these Edomites fucking money for reparations, for losing their slaves and the hardships that they had to go through, the depression and everything. Pay them back for that, man. Pay every single Edomite that's here or that's breathing in America need to be paid reparations for fucking slavery, man. All right, they all the descendants of the slave owners. They all lost their property, and they really about to lose all their slaves right about now. You see what the hell they going through right now? They losing their country. Pay them back for it, man. All right. It says, where were we at? Cleveland-based businessman Moreno, who is an immigrant to the United States, announced his candidacy for the 2024 U.S. Senate elections last week. Ohio is expected to be a keenly consistent swing state that could potentially decide which political party wins control of the Senate. He has made border security a key issue in his campaign and has been described by Donald Trump as highly respected. In response to a social media video clip, which was viewed more than 600,000 times since it was posted on Friday, a representative for Moreno told various media outlets that the liberal media missed the point, that he was merely attempting to spotlight Democrat hypocrisy, right? Forget all of that. We talking about getting these reparations for these goddamn Edomites, man. They all need to have a receipt for what the hell that they did, right? This is Daniel chapter 9 and verse 12. It says, he has confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. And part of that great evil, you have two great evils, right? The great evil was, first and foremost, the curses that was promised in Deuteronomy 28. And part of those curses was bringing that fierce nation, Esau, right? Now, hey, look, so this is what happened to us, right? So it says, and he have confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as has been done unto Jerusalem. So let's read that in NLT. You have kept your word and done unto us and our rulers exactly as you warned. Never has there been such a disaster as happened in Jerusalem. That's that hardcore bondage that Jake had to go through, man. The northern and the southern kingdom, man. Under the whole face of the earth, man. Every nation on the face of the earth had a part in taking us into captivity, all right, and putting us into bondage under in every country on the face of the earth. All right, we was in shackles into these countries, man, in captivity, man. All right, all at the same time. All right, so hey, in half the shit look at what's going on here in America to Jake, man. So we're 400 years later, they still talking about some no justice, no peace, still marching to be treated quote unquote somewhat equal, man. Or just treated like human beings, man. All right. So, hey, this is the worst thing that ever happened. And at whose hand did this happen under, man? Who was the main culprit into these things, man? All right. Matter of fact, this is Joel 3 and oh, wait a minute. Let me start I don't want to have to spend too much time on this, but let me just start up here at the top. Joel 3 and 1. It says, for behold, in those days and at that time shall I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. All right. Let me read that in NLT. It says, I will gather the armies of the world in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, going into World War III. There will I judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. So the land of Israel was divided up. All right, the land of America was divided up because it was only the northern kingdom that was over here. So Esau came over here and divided up this here land. All right, so hey, both of these places is actually the Israelite places, man. All right, but it says they had harmed my people, my special possession. So in the four corners of the whole earth. All right, that's why you have World War III being mounted up. All right, and all being headed by the Edomites. All right, verse 3, it says, they have cast lots for my people. They have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. All right. So, hey, in the NLT, they threw dice to decide which of my people would be their slaves. They traded boys to obtain prostitutes and sold girls for enough wine to get drunk. And even until today, you want to be famous and everything else like that as a Jake, man, you got to go to that casting couch, man. You got to go get bent over by these Edomites, man. Verse 4, yea, what do you have to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? All right, you're gonna pay me back. All right. It says, if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. All right. So hey, you can't pay the Lord back for these things. You can't pay us off, man. All right, that's the thing. All right, everybody keep talking about Jake need to get reparations from the Edom. It's not for Esau to give us back no goddamn reparations. The Most High gonna pay us back, man. The Most High gonna give us back everything that He about to give us the whole planet and the people, man. Psalms, we can read. We'll close out with that. All right, just close it up. But Isaiah 60, read Isaiah 60, man. Isaiah 60 is full of our reparation package, man. All right. Verse 5, because you have taken my silver and my gold and carried them into your temples, my goodly pleasant things, the children of Judah, the southern kingdom, you so-called Negroes, and the children of Jerusalem, the northern kingdom, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans, have you sold unto the Grecians. Who were the Grecians? All right, the Greeks. Who claimed to be them Grecians like that, man? Alexander the Greek and everything. Those was Edomites, man. So you sold the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans into these Edomites, the so-called white folks, man. All right, that you might remove them far from their borders. All right, so hey, this is the point of hey, who took Jake down, man. All right, you know they wound up selling us. They done named everybody in here, man. You had the people that was rounding us up, the so-called Africans, the Hamites, right? And then they sold us into who? The Grecians, the Edomites, man. All right, so hey, under the whole heaven have not been done unto as have been done to Jerusalem, all right, by the hands of who? The Edomites, right? And these other nations as well, too. But the Edomites was at the head of all this here stuff, man. All right. Let me see. We can grab some more real quick. I didn't want to make this long. Ezekiel 25 and verse 12, it says, thus saith Yahweh power, because the Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and have revenged himself of them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it. I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh. All right. And so, hey, you know, this is going to be ultimately, you know, when we have them in the kingdom, man. All right. They're going to be in our captives, man. All right. Let me go to, I wanted to grab, it was a short one I wanted to grab. I think it's Ezekiel 35. Well, let me just start at 5. That wasn't a point. We can grab this too. But Ezekiel 35 and 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and the time of their calamity and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, that I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with the slain men, and thy hills and thy valleys and all the rivers, and thou shalt fall by the sword. And I will make thee a perpetual desolation in all thy cities, and thou shalt not return, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it as if Yahweh was there. And so, hey, we just read about that earlier, about how they divided up the Lord's land and everything else like that, and possessed these nations, man. All right, the people and the lands, man. All right. I mean, we can keep reading on down, but I wanted to just make this kind of quick. That's a good chapter to read as well, too. I wanted to grab, wait, was that just what I was looking for? Yeah. Matter of fact, that's what we was looking for. Hold on. Boom, we can read this one here. Is a short to the point. Thought I said with that mouth that murmured, but I guess we were just reading that. All right, let me just read this one real quick. Obadiah 1 and, what is it, 5? Or 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. This is part of Esau's judgment, man. This is part of his heritage. This is part of his reparation package, man. So, I mean, I don't really understand. You know, hey, let them get that money back, because this is going to be a payment from, and they'll be all happy-go-lucky. This is going to solve the Edomite problem, and they'll be all happy-lucky. They'll be walking around in Jake face, stunting, throwing stacks of money in the Jake face and everything else. Yeah, fuck you, broke niggas. We got some money. We got paid. That's why y'all still at the bottom. Yeah, we took you niggas into slavery, and we got paid for it too, man. Fuck you niggas, man. Keep that same energy, because Yahweh Shai right around the corner, and he about to put you niggas into captivity. So you might as well. It's like, you know, your old lady arguing with you about cheating or some shit. You might as well go ahead and fuck that bitch, man, because she gonna blame you for it anyway. You might as well go down. Look, she gonna keep blaming you for it. If you're gonna get blamed for it, you might as well go ahead and take part in this shit, man. So, hey, that's my advice to them, man. Go ahead and get these niggas this reparation. These Edomites, these reparations. And they niggas too. But go ahead and give these niggas this reparation. Let them go ahead and live it up. Rejoice and be glad, O daughters of Edom. Let them go ahead and live it up. Let them go ahead and stun it all out on the gram. Let them stun in front of Jake and everything else like that, because when it come time for that judgment, it ain't gonna be no, I ain't had no slaves, I ain't had no part, I ain't had no of this, I ain't had no, you niggas got paid for it twice. You live deliciously off the backs of the Israelites, man. This is what you wound up doing. So let them have this, and let them go ahead and get paid off, because it's not gonna go well for them, man. All right, let me see. Where's that? Actually, it's Isaiah. I mean, we can read this. Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and for handmaids, and they shall take them captive, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're about to rule over our oppressors, man. All right, we're about to take them captive, man. All right. I had quoted some. Oh, it was Isaiah as well too. Let's just go back to that. Isaiah 14 and 21. Isaiah 14 and 21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, right? That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the world with cities. Why would you, what was the iniquities of their fathers? All right, let me see if I can grab that real quick. Zechariah 11 and 5 says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and say, and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So, hey, think about that, man. Let me read that in NLT. The buyers slaughter their sheep without remorse. The sellers say, praise the Lord, now I am rich. Even the shepherds have no compassion for them. And so, hey, that's the thing they say. They like to say, oh, your own people sold you into slavery, man. Why you tripping with me when your own people sold you into slavery, man? They don't care. They didn't fight for it. They didn't fight for it, blah, blah, blah. They're not tripping like this. The reason that the small hats and these Asians get all this stuff, because they fight for it. Y'all ain't fighting for it. If y'all was to band together and fight for this cancellation and stuff, y'all will be where y'all want to be at and everything. Y'all own people just do this and that to y'all, man. So, hey, so it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. That's describing somebody, man. Who the one, like I said at the beginning of the lesson, there's that Jedi mind trick. Ask these Edomites, I'm like, are you a proud American? Your forefathers fought for this land? Yeah, we descendants of these folks. Okay, so who did they fight for this here land? Oh no, we didn't fight the Native Americans. They didn't kill them off. They didn't fight the Native Americans. They wasn't here for that. Okay, well, so did your foreparents? They wasn't here for that. So did your foreparents have slaves? No. They wasn't here for slavery either. They didn't come for slavery. They wasn't here during slavery. So who the fuck did they fight for? And when did they get here at this point in time, man? Because the Native Americans was here. All right, the so-called Latinos was here. The Negroes was here. Y'all always be screaming, go back to your own country. Who the fuck is you talking to? Go back to your own country. If you came after the people that was already wronged over here, you said that your foreparents fought for this country. Who did they fight, man? Because it sounds like from when you talking, the fight was already over with. The slavery was already over with when your people came here. But you say that you got the rights to this here land when there was already people over here on this here land, man. So which one was it, man? But as the scriptures say, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. This is who we dealing with, man. These goddamn Edomites. But yet and still, like I said, pay these niggas reparations because this is their receipt for their deeds. They trying to hold themselves not guilty. They trying to take it up out of history and everything. Oh, slavery never happened. No, pay these niggas back reparations so that shit's on the record too. Hey, in 2010, all the Edomites in America got paid back for reparations. Hey, that's on the so it's hard to erase slavery now when they didn't got the receipts of what they paid for back at this point in time. See, it's hard at that point in time to even hell. I would even go to vote for the saying, look, we're going to raise taxes where only black and so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans taxes is going to be raised up to pay off Edomites and reparations, man. Well, let's go that far, man. Just so these niggas can get this receipt. We at the end of the game anyway, man. Fuck it, man. They about to go into captivity. So fuck it. Let them go ahead and pay it up, man. All right. Let's go back to that. What was we reading? Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, Isaiah 14:21 says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and the remnant, and the son, and the nephew, saith Yahweh. So, hey, the Lord is about to put in some work over here on these people, man. All right, let's just finish it off with this, because, see, like I was speaking on our reparation package plan. All right, this is just to sum it all up. Like I said, go read Isaiah chapter 60. You want to read about our reparation package and everything else like that. But just to sum all our reparations up, not to really sum it all up, but just as not to even say a small portion. It's a small portion of what we're about to read, but it's a big portion in value, right? Psalms 2:8 says, ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thy inheritance and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. All right? Let me read that in NLT just in case it wasn't clear. Only ask, and I will give you the nations as your inheritance and the whole earth as your possession. So if he was going to give you the nations as your inheritance, that's talking about the people, not the land. Because the earth is the land that the Lord talking about. The earth, the Lord about to give us the whole earth. But what does he mean by the nation? I will give you the nations as your inheritance. Just like how Esau had us in rulership while he's in his rulership to be his slaves and to farm the earth and to get all the men. What's the point of being up on top? You know what I'm saying? To have people work or not having people work for you. Like, the head of McDonald's, they got to sit there and work. If you got a business and you're your number one employee of your business, you just bought yourself a job. You don't really have a business until you got employees that's working for you and you sitting back like a fat cat, man. All right? You think Jeff Bezos is out there working on the assembly line at fucking Amazon and shit like that? Or Elon Musk on the assembly line making Teslas and shit? No, man. Or coding some Twitter shit? No, man. They got people working for them, man. Same with the slave masters. The slave masters wasn't out there in the fields picking cotton and shit. He had slaves doing all that stuff for him, man. Slave master was up in the house knocking back Becky's and knocking back Eve's, man. All right, and just living it up. So what you think we finna be doing up in the kingdom? We finna be straight chilling while these Edomites over here working, man. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. I just wanted to, touch on that there article because I already know this is gonna be a hot topic. Edomites asking for reparations. You finna have Jake having all their pennies in the bunch. Not Jake's in the truth. Talking about these 2/3 out here. Oh, they about to get reparations. We can't get reparations. The white man be treating us all. Fuck that, man. Stop all that crime, man. Let these crackers get this goddamn reparation, man. Pay these niggas off, man. Pay them all off, man. Let's run up the check on it. Like I said, hey, I'm willing to pay up all my taxes to fucking fund some Edomites and shit like that. Just so they can get these receipts. Just so when your Howard shot comes like, wait. So if you didn't have, we know who you are. He know who you are. You know what I'm saying? We know that y'all all about to go into captivity anyway. This is like one of those fucking trick question type scenario. Like whether you take the payment or you don't take the payment, you still gonna get judged anyway. It's gonna be a lot. You know how when somebody sitting over there stunned, look, I got this, I got that, and then they get that shame face. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you bragging because you was over there fucking that one chick. Yeah, hey, I got the bust their cheeks on that chick. I got to hit the whoop de whoop. I got to get, hey man, homegirl. Hey, we was doing this and doing that, and everybody over there looking at you while you bragging. Like, yeah, you know, homegirl got that shit, right? You over here bragging about that. Now that smile turned into a frown, and you got to go to your own corner and right about now, man. And this is what Esau's about to have to go and do, man. So let them live this here up. And when Yahweh shall come, that smile gonna turn into a frown. So let them have a little, like the scripture say, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Let me see if we can pull that real quick. And you got to live it up. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwells in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, and thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. I'm going to go ahead and say, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakudash, double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. The title says truth and rule well. And salutation and much love for Yahweh, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.